All right, guys, once again, welcome back to Rail Chief's Back Shop for today. And in today's episode, you guys are in for a really big treat when it comes to this restoration. Now, whenever I make one of these videos, I'm normally working on a steam locomotive, a diesel, a passenger car, or a piece of rolling stock, but not today. In today's episode, I'm going to be showing you all a very easy step-by-step tutorial on how to maintain and repair whether you have like an old Lionel post-war or pre-war transformer, whether it's a ZW, a KW, a TW, or whatever. I'm going to be showing you all how easy it is to repair these old transformers lickety-split. Now, with this transformer, this is of course a original Lionel ZW transformer, and technically speaking, I have two transformers. I have my dad's, and I also have this one, which I bought with my own money. Now, when you're at a train show or a convention, you want to make sure you do a little bit of inspecting, not just visually looking at the outside of the ZW, but just feeling around to make sure there are no broken parts or components. And just recently, when I was expecting this one, I've noticed that the terminals at the top here, which is for our common ground, are loose. And the more you turn them to the right side, the more that they're going to keep spinning. And we don't really want that. We want to make sure we keep turning them so that way they're as tight as they can be for when we operate a set of buildings, some accessories, or even trains for that matter. Because having this on your ZW or any type of transformer that you might have could be very problematic. Because if that happens, then you won't be able to run your trains for that matter. So what I'm going to show you for today's episode is how, let me start that again. What I'm going to show you guys for today's episode is how to open up the ZW and replace these old common ground terminals. So that way we can replace them with the new terminals here, which I have from the C&D train repair. And you can also buy replacement knobs as well, even though it isn't really necessary for this point because we got all 8 of these knobs intact on the ZW. So without further ado, let's go ahead and take this down to the workbench. We'll open it up and we'll give it the most best tender loving care that this transformer deserves. Okay, now all we just need to do is to open up the top part of the transformer, and you're going to need a Phillips head screwdriver in order to remove the cover of the transformer. But in this case, I got a very small flathead here, which also works just as well. So you just want to go ahead and remove 4 of those screws that are on the top of the cover here, once again. And you don't really have to remove them completely. All you just have to do is loosen them up until you can eventually pop the cover off. And it's okay if 1 or 2 of them gets a little stuck. Just unscrew them a little more and off it goes. Now all the way back here where the terminal posts are, we have this metal strip like I mentioned. Now initially I was thinking about drilling a hole into that little strip so that way we can easily put in the new terminal posts. But because there are already holes in the back of the strip here, it isn't really necessary. So what we need to do next is to unscrew the old terminal posts here. And we can go ahead and take off the little end caps and put them to the side. And now this is where the fun part comes, because now that we have a loose terminal post, we can go ahead and take our pliers and gently remove them from the common ground side of the transformer. And don't be afraid to put a little bit of elbow grease into pulling them out. And so here we are. That's what the old terminal post looks like. Now we're going to go ahead and open up the new ones. And the best part about the new terminal posts is that they have a little bolt at the rear end, so that way, once you screw it in, it will stay into place. So we're just gonna unscrew this one for now to give you guys a general idea on how this is gonna work. Take the bolt out of there. Put it over the hole. Just gonna screw it into place here, and before we screw it in, completely, we're going to go ahead and take our pliers and grab onto the bolts that we installed in the back side on the inside of the transformer. And we're going to screw it in even more. All right, there we go. Snug as a bug. Now what I'm going to do next is to work on the other two terminal posts here, and we'll show you guys the final result once we get everything fully reassembled. All right, so that, hold on one second. All right, so that is the last terminal post that we need to work on here. And just by wiggling it around, you can already tell that these terminal posts aren't going to go anywhere anytime soon. So now our last thing that we need to do is to put the end caps back on and screw them all the way back in. Once again, go ahead and try to wiggle it around to make sure that everything is secured. And now we're going to go ahead and reinstall the top part of the transformer. Once again, make sure that everything is put back on top. And while we're at it, make sure to remove the covers for the light bulb bracket here to make sure that they're not stuck. And don't be afraid to bend the light bulb bracket just a smidge so that way we can fit everything back into place. And now our last thing to do here is to put the little light bulb caps back on top of the light bulb brackets. So you always got to remember, if you're turning the transformer to this side, green has to be on the right and red has to be on the left, because the red lamp bracket is for the circuit breaker. So that way, once the circuit breaker pops, the red light will go on and it will stay on until you fix the problem with whether you have an electrical problem or a derailment. Now, just to keep in mind that the circuit breaker is meant to protect the transformer, not so much the train that derails. So, with all that being out of the way, we're going to go ahead and take this transformer back upstairs. We'll connect it to power and we'll watch it in operation. Alright, so there we have it. Now we have a fully functional operating post-war ZW transformer that's going to last us a very long time with the brand new terminals that we have installed for the common ground. And don't be disappointed if you didn't really see that much for today's video. I am working on another ZW restoration video that's currently in the making. So this video will be known as part 1, so be sure to keep an eye out for part 2. But in the meantime, I really hope that you all have enjoyed watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to hit the notification bell down below. But until next time, thank you all for watching, and I really hope to see you all in my next video. Bye.